Ready to start here, everyone.
I kind of have to agree with Kamadora's file name choice, though.
Absolutely. Wow, out of the gate getting a bottle right from Link's house.
Looks like for a second time in a row, they're not going to have to worry about finding that bottle for Sick Kid.
It's good news. It makes that trip to Kakariko so much easier. Maniacal getting that tree pull there with the 10 arrows. Not a bad tree pull.
Yeah, but an early arrow pull, it might not find the bow for quite a while. Though they'll take the hammer.
That they will. Certainly much different than the previous race already, with the fact they've got a good damage dealer right out of the gate.
Yeah, you prefer to find a sword early just because how easy it is to use, but yeah, if you can't find easy use, at least take the damage.
Kamadora's bomb strats there and getting the 20 rupees for the second tier tree pull prize.
That's going to make his first route to Kakariko a lot easier since he can either buy bombs or if he finds more money, hey, we get the bottle vendor easy.
I like Kamadora's play here, heading into the escape with the hammer to be able to get those early items.
Yeah, even going in weaponless, the just getting the first chest can sometimes be a real nice boon.
Oh, only some trio of bombs on that lumberjack cave.
And we saw the bush crab was just 5 rupee drops. So, a lot of money on our random stuff.
You know, you mentioned that first chest here at the escape. I've seen that be a sword and be a really good gamble for some people. Oh, ether medallion, right? Quake medallion, excuse me, right away.
Well, that's not going to hang out on the ledge this time.
No, I had enough of that.
Maniacal's rich. He's Kamadora finds the mirror over in Zelda's cell.
Instinctively saves and quits instead of mirroring. Maybe going for the sanctuary to Kakariko, but I would have been tempted to mirror. Then again, I'm not very good at this.
Well, I think we saw Kamadora doing dark rooms in Race 1 using the hammer to navigate, right?
That we did. Looks like Link got the life savings from the sick kid there.
I've seen Sick Kid have lunch money a lot of times. So, another thing to note about Hyrule Castle chests. So we found the key in Sanctuary. So if they get mitts, they can go backwards through Escape for the Dark Room. I don't think we saw the map, though, so I think it's only 2 items in the back instead of 3.
I think you're right.
Oh, and then there's the dark room. So yeah, there's still 3 items in Hyrule Castle.
Starting to see some remnants of the previous seed there, with some little bit of love coming in pretty early.
I think they're both still following about the same starting route, aren't they?
Very similar, yes. Wow, and that fire rod right there in Blind's hut.
It'd be nice once they get Dark World access. It'll be a quick Skull Woods when they get to it.
Let's see what we get from the well. So far, Kakariko's been fairly hype.
Oh, Cape, they've got one of their invulnerability items. That's always nice to find early on.
Yeah, especially considering the last race did not allow them to do things like go to blind early if they had a sword because of the amount of hearts they had. They didn't seem too comfortable doing it, so that makes a big difference. If we find a sword.
Yeah, an early blind, even with blue mail, if you're under even 7 hearts is rough. Speaking of swords,
That's the second time that's happened to me today. I should speak about swords more often.
hey, keep saying swords. We might find one at the outside the dam too.
Oh man.
Don't worry, they're all sitting in Mini Moldorm Cave.
That'd be awesome.
So, as Chad's saying, it's not a super speedy start, and they've got things to work with, but it seems a bit like a jumbled mess of items right now.
Well, that cave offered us a lot of love and money.
Oh, we got a green Eastern and a 6 on Desert. So between the two of them, they still have Agina's Cave, Ice Rod Cave, and the Eastern Palace area. I think there's got to be something over there, like a bow or a book, to keep going on.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of that would be there would be the Power Glove. I could see that being in Eastern though, or the Sahasrara Award.
There is one other Super Troll option.
Uh-oh, I'm afraid to ask.
Well, they've got a sword and they've got a cape.
I knew that was coming.
I've never personally seen a moon pearl on the pyramid myself, but there's first time for everything, right?
Absolutely. Kamadora looks like he's making that early play, possibly towards the ice cave or fake flippers.
Yeah, I'm wagering they don't want to head over to the eastern area without the bow, just in case they get locked out of there. But at this point, I think eastern might be the play because you've got about 5 items over there.
And then Maniacal opted for the Death Warp rather than using the mirror to get out of Hyrule Castle's escape there.
At 11 minutes in, sometimes you just don't remember that you have the mirror because you're expecting it to be such a late item.
Absolutely. I'm agreeing with chat here. So, Raven Dark Hearts indicating muscle memory. Absolutely.
And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Kama did make his way over to the ice cave and found the half magic that was in there.
Was literally about to talk about Maniacal's health and then done. Oh, the Moon Pearl! So Pyramid Moon Pearl will not be a thing today.
AGA 1 for Dark World access may still be a thing, though.
Absolutely. The Power Glove could easily be somewhere in the Thieves Town area.
Moon Pearl does also open up the waterfall sequence break. It looks like they're not feeling up for sequence breaking right now, though.
It didn't help a ton the last seed, so I can see that not being a point of interest at this point.
Yeah, and also the more you sequence break, the more you have to keep track of where the break is to know where items can and can't be.
Kamadora getting that big key there. Let's see if we can will the next 3 chests to be items.
It would be kind of funny if all 3 of them were swords.
Oh man.
On the one hand, yay, it's a lot of power. On the other hand, gotta do AGA.
Well, we now know that Armos Knight is going to have an item.
And that's a flute. That's Nice to have.
We have got that flute.
Flute opens up a little bit more because they can get up to Death Mountain now.
They have that quick access to check the desert ledge and get over to Agana. And just the 5 bomb upgrade there from that last chest before we're bow locked.
Even if we end up in a case where Mire is pendant and there's nothing in Mire, it's still worth it to go into that pendant Eastern just for that flute. That saves a whole lot of time early on.
Absolutely wonderful play by both of our runners, heading over there early and not taking the gamble of there being nothing there. Kamadora getting that swag duck anthem on right now. We'll be hearing that in just a moment from Maniacal stream. Where to first, do you think?
I like the desert play first.
I would agree. I mean, here you've got a chance to view an item and get 2. And I think that item that's going to be on Spectacle Rock, what if it's a teaser item? It makes you think you need to go somewhere else.
I just realized though they also, since they do have the mirror, they can actually do Tower of Hera right now.
And they can go do the east side of Death Mountain with the hammer.
Yeah, never mind. Death Mountain's a play.
Death Mountain's the play. Maniacal opting to get the old man to see what the item is there.
Even if the item's nothing, it's a nice save quit point.
Oh, absolutely. I love having the save quit point at the top of the Death Mountain there. Got that ether medallion. That means basement's required.
Yeah, but they're already 2 of 3 on medallions, so they're probably set for Mire and Turtle Rock if they're required.
It's definitely a good spot to be in, to have 2 out of the 3 less than 20 minutes in.
Though I'd also still like Bombos just for the kill medallion.
Bombos on pedestal hype.
So far, neither runner falling for the Spike Cave trap.
Yeah, Kamadora would be have a little bit easier time with that, having the half magic, but they could both easily take advantage of it with the cape strats.
That's what it looks like at first, until you realize you have no lift upgrade to lift the rock at the end.
Oh, good call. Got our bomb jump coming here for Kamadora.
So the last item's on Troll Dorm.
You know, typically I'm okay with that last item being on Troll Dorm. It just makes it a lot easier to say, I did it.
Yeah, and they have weaponry. They have a sword and a hammer, so they're not looking for something to kill Troll Dorm.
Nice fight there by Kamadora.
Oh, Raspberry Flu for our tracker pointing out they already had both items in here with the Ether and the 300 Ruby drop, so that bomb jump wasn't required.
Oh, very true.
Yeah, luckily those dead rocks didn't block Kamadora from seeing what was on the floating island. And it's just 3 bombs, so not much need to go that way when they get Dark World access.
That's good to see. You know, I've only had one seed that I've played personally where Floating Island was required, and it was quite infuriating because the hookshot wasn't until late game. And at the time, I did not realize that there was the invisible bridge in the hookshot cave. In fact, I didn't even know how to get there at first.
Yeah, this is one of those games that I grew up with and 100%ed quite a bit as a child and learned an awful lot about this game.
I wish I would have paid more attention to it when I played it when I was younger, because I probably would remember so much of the stuff that I had forgotten. All right, what are we going to get here from this second mini Moldorm cave here in Death Mountain?
Let's go red mail, sword, second sword, power glove, and big 20.
Whoa!
That's a lamp and a bow.
What? Wow! Lamp and bow. That's a good find.
That is a really nice find. It's going to keep him away from Aga for a little while longer.
What is Kamadora up to?
You remember that play that I said earlier that they don't have gloves for?
Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. Oh no.
I had the commentator's curse at some point. I just didn't expect it to be this early. And Kamadora realizing,
Oh,
hey, at least we got the sync save and quit.
that was nice. Womp womp.
Womp.
Oh man, that was perfect.
So, both runners getting the same items and going completely different directions with it.
Yeah, Maniacal's heading for that back end of escape. Let's see what happens. I mean, Kamadora here has one item that could progress him. Maniacal has a chance at 3, so I'm curious to see where this goes.
I thought Eastern was green, though.
So 2, yes. He gets the Armos Knight and the Sahasrara item.
Now, I could be wrong with that, though.
Well, Dark Room proved to be nothing but some extra arrows.
We could possibly see both lift upgrades back here, though.
True. And Raspberry pointing out that Eastern is blue pendant, not green. All right, I'm sitting here waiting with bated breath on this chest pull here. Where are we at?
It's gotta be Kane.
That is the Cane of Samaria, people. Wow.
On the one hand, it's good for later progression. On the other hand, doesn't do much right now.
And Maniacal's going straight for the Aga play. Here he goes.
It's going to take him a bit of time to get through it, but once he does, he's already got stuff he can do in Dark World.
Making excellent use of that fire rod. All right, we are about to see the weapon or the item off Armos Knights. Big 20, big 20.
The flute was nice out of Eastern, but unfortunately that's about all they get out of there.
Now, Kamadora can flute to the desert here and check Agna and the ledge. Let's see what he does. He's making the play to the escape.
One thing to note about the Aga play right now, I'm a bit surprised they're doing it before checking Agina's cave, and Maniacal also hasn't checked Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, he did not get the half magic yet, so I wonder if after he gets to Dark World, he'll make a trip back real quick to do the flute to the closest, the 8 spot for the Ice Rod.
If he didn't do it before tackling Aghanim's tower, I wouldn't be surprised if he just completely leaves it until he's stuck.
All right, here we are. Let's see how many blue balls we're going to be getting from old Aghanim today.
I've already caused enough of a curse. I'm going to keep my guess to myself.
I'm going for a 3 cycle. That's 5 blue balls, I believe.
The last time I guessed 5 and it was 6.
Oh, there's one.
That's 2.
All right, so we're halfway there.
Kamadora is starting his climb.
Three cycle. So we did not get the blue balls right. But that was a 3 cycle. I called that at least.
I think that was 3 blue balls.
I believe it was. Oh! That is not what we were expecting on the pyramid.
Well, they can still full clear a pod.
This is true.
Or
Oh.
not.
We're seeing a hype cave check. It's got to be what's coming.
Well, as long as both glove upgrades are in Dark World, that Aghanim was definitely required.
Oh, absolutely.
So I've been calling this the Cave of Mediocrity lately, because anytime I've seen it, it hasn't paid out. Last race, kind of an exception.
Well, it definitely lived up to its name today, Cave of Mediocrity. Last race, I believe we nicknamed it the Prince Cave for the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
So, since they have the Moon Pearl and the Mirror, with Aghanim dead, doesn't that mean that a save quit brings them back to the pyramid if they're in Dark World?
That is correct, yes.
So we did get a map check. Fortunately, Thieves Town is a pendant, but at least it's the green pendant this time.
Looks like we got Meyer as the red pendant or red crystal. And Ice Palace is the pendant again. All right, I'm excited to see if we get a pod this time.
We still don't get to see the bow in pod though, because they already have the bow. One of the newest changes in the logic when they update to V27, the bow can be in more places in pod, but don't get to see that this seed since they've already got it.
I actually have had a seed that I've played offline for practice that had the bow in the back of pod. It's the only one that I've seen. I haven't seen anyone else get one like that. Whole lot of keys so far.
Yeah, there's I forget how many keys there are. I thought it was something like 6 keys in pod.
I believe it's 6, yes.
Which is nice that they're able to hit pod with everything ready to complete it just so early.
All right, big key before the downstairs. That's good.
Yeah, it's a decent time save when you can just go straight into. Well, actually, they need the key to go into the dark rooms, so they might still have to do a double back for it. Actually, Maniacal already has 2 keys, so yeah, he can go straight for the 3 chests on the left side.
Yeah, because you know at least one of the next 3, if none of those are going to give you a key, at least one of the next 3 is going to. Opts to go right.
There's 1 glove.
There's the power glove. It's so bad.
So bad. So we got the dark maze here. It can be I still occasionally have problems with it with the light source.
Yeah, it feels so much like Agha's Tower or Aghanim's Tower that sometimes I get lost.
Hey, at least you have guardrails in pod though, right?
Exactly.
So that big chest only paid out with a single arrow or validation arrow, but hey, at least he knows. Actually, I had kept track of how many items he had.
The last item is going to be the map with Helmasaur.
Oh, we already found all 5. Oh, yay! Now, Kamadora checking the room with the spikes there. Maniacal skipped it, but since he only has one key left, and you know you need one key for this door that he's about to go through right now, you know that that chest was a key before you went to it.
Yep. So he made the right play.
So Maniacal's on his way to the Helmosaur King. I'm trying to think, what is going to be their next play after Helmosaur?
I would go to the Village of Outcasts and work on Thieves Town and Skull Wood since we have the Fire Rod.
Yeah, and they got the gloves, so they do have access to that side of Dark World right now.
That hitbox giving some trouble there for Maniacal with that green jewel.
Sometimes the arrows just want to go like 1 pixel to the left, and it gets really annoying.
Yeah, I agree with Super Taylor there in chat that he needs to make a stop at that potion shop and get some either green goo or blue goo to help him out with his fight against Mothula for Skullwoods.
Yeah, with that fighter sword, not going to do a whole lot of damage, and shorter range than the master sword too. In fact, I think fighter sword range is pretty close to hammer range, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's really close. All right, what are we going to see first? Are we going to see the dips into the dungeons? Looks like we are.
Oh, he can still full clear it, and it is a crystal, so yeah, go for it.
I like the play to work from the north back down through the village. I often find myself getting frustrated if I find something in Skullwoods that I needed, but I didn't go and do it just because I had the easy access to the chess game and the sea hut and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely like at least checking the front of Skullwoods if you don't have Fire Rod, because there's you know there's 2 items in here, and you can get to them pretty easily.
Yeah, he's already got one of them out of the way.
Now, knowing Thieves Town is a pendant, though, when you get down there, do you full clear it, or do you just check first 4?
Ooh, that's rough because you know you're only going to have a chance of getting an item in 3 of the 4. But there's also a chance one of those 3 is a key, so you only get 2 out of 4 chests. That's a 50% success rate, and those aren't the numbers I like to see.
Yeah, I've actually fallen victim to the 0 of 4.
Yeah, that could easily be a thing.
And Kamadora just saved himself.
Everything's better when you have a twin.
Kamadora and Maniacal are making a lot of the same plays.
They are, and Kamadora is just about 2 to 3 minutes behind. So we could still easily have a race here.
Well, some of that time was going over to Ice Rod Cave and getting at half magic.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll make a huge difference in this fight. Michael's going to need to kill the Gibdo up here in this room to get that extra key.
That's going to be more magic he doesn't have for Mothula.
I'm anxious to see how good this fight goes.
Looked like the first hit knocked him into the spikes, and if you knock him into the spikes, that is no damage.
It's a very bad thing to do. So far doing great though.
Yeah, in the vanilla game, if the spikes deal gold sword damage, and since there's spikes all around the room, the developers decided to make Mothula immune to gold sword damage. So, yeah, if you knock them into the spikes, it's no damage because you're over the damage threshold.
Wow. Nice, clean fight there.
He's getting bodied by the spikes a little bit at the end, but fought right through it.
That was awesome.
That fight can get scary very quickly. Just with the random movements of the conveyor belt, the random spikes, there's a lot of random in the Mothula fight that you have to take into account. However, with no item on the Moth, Maniacal has to come back in to get the last chest. The boots!
It's the boots! He's got them Nikes on. He's ready to go.
I don't think he checked the big chest before, did he?
He did not. I do not believe so.
And since that's both items, he doesn't have to.
Skull was, of course, being a dungeon that is very interestingly placed for logic purposes, where the items can be.
As in having something like a lot of the time?
Exactly. And Kamadora making the play for the boots first.
It's just Kamadora going for the boot chest. Usually waiting until after the Moth to grab it, just because the free mirror back, and if Mothula has your item, hey, you don't have to go check it.
Exactly. So that was an interesting play there. My guess is he just didn't want to go back to it after the Mothula flight.
And sometimes you just make a gut play and it works out.
Kamadora looking like he might be heading off to get some potions. Oh, where is he going?
He might be going into Village of Outcasts to check that area out.
I did not catch what was in Kingstone.
Was a heart container. Wait, so does that mean he stole the king's heart?
I believe it does. We did not get a peek at Bonk Rocks, though, did we? At the Ledge and King's Tomb, but not Bonk Rocks.
I thought we saw Bonk Rocks, but I think it was either a big 20 or a piece of heart. Could be mistaken, though.
Yeah, shot calling out Bonk Rocks was useless.
We're getting all of the Village Outcasts checks out of the way, or at least what they can do without the Titans mids. It's not looking real good.
No, the Village of Outcasts is not being nice.
Oh, Thieves Town itself's being nice though, at least with the ice rod.
It's a good play. It's a good play to see that right there.
One of the trolliest items once required, because it could be anywhere before Trinex.
My PB I have is a 141, and I took a gamble to take 2 Turtle Rock without the ice rod, and it was on Laser Bridge.
Laser Bridge ice rod just feels so dirty.
Oh, and I was so dirty but so happy at the same time that my gamble played off.
So they're both making the early Thieves Town play and getting 3 items out of here?
Yep, 3 items.
Yeah, 50 rupee, a 5 rupee, and the ice rod. So it's nice that they got the ice rod. The question is the 4th item going to be required? And there's also the green pendant that Blind's sitting on.
You know, I'm thinking that there's a chance that I probably would have gone to do a big chest check. Because you can get to the big chest pretty easily after you go to the top of the room and hit the crystal switch. That's 2 more chests to check if you check Blind's chest and the Big chest.
Yeah, but if you're going all that way, I think you just go all the way for it.
Yeah. Again, that's why I'm not very good at this game. I have to think things through sometimes.
Hey, sometimes it's called making gambles, and that's what wins races sometimes.
Nice, quick digging game there. Only 5 digs, but alas, a piece of heart.
Yeah, they're already on. Well, Maniacal's already on 11 hearts and blue mail, so it's got a bit of protection right now. There's a Titan's mitt.
That's a good place for it, I think. Got them gold mitts.
It also means that Aga 1 was totally required.
Absolutely. And I like Maniacal's play on this because he just goes back around to the other side if he wanted to complete that. You can go get the dwarf now if you wanted to. Go get our friend the frog. He's making a trip to Meyer though. Let's see what the medallion is.
Bombos!
Oh man, of course. That is great. Come on, no bombos. No bombos. There you go.
No bombos. Ped bombos?
I'm thinking Ped Bondos. Bombos.
They've already got fire rods, so they don't need it for Ice Palace.
Looking for that ring of fire text there on the pedestal.
Oh, we gotta find a book for that first.
Literacy is gonna be in desert. What? There it is!
Well, that was quick.
Oh, man. Yeah, Bombos is just like, hi, Mark.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't go in and clear desert while he was in Light World, but hey, you got 2 crystals right there. You got your 5-6 crystal right there at that.
Maybe hoping for silvers in Misery Mire to complete desert faster.
So, see, Maniacal still needs hook shot and flippers and a sword upgrade.
Can we see a flippers on the pedestal?
We cannot see a flippers on the pedestal.
No, not with Ice Rod being or Ice Palace being a pendant.
There's literacy.
Does it count as being half right if it's in the dark world that I said it was in desert?
jury's still out on that one. Now, the real troll would be sword upgrades on both tablets and sword upgrade on pedestal.
That would be really bad. Really bad. Because nobody likes to do Master Sword Ganon.
Master Sword Ganon, what about Fighter Sword Trinex?
Ugh.
At least for this Fighter Sword Vitreous, they've got bow and arrows to fall back on. Now, Kamadora is doing a lot of overworld checks right now.
Yes, he is. And he does not yet know that Bombos is required for Misery Mire.
Yeah, but with the book in Mire, that means that the mirror trick is the only... Yeah, mirroring to the ledge is the only way to get Bombos.
Exactly.
And just a red rupee from Agina's cave.
Wow. Agina has nothing today.
He never has anything until he has something important.
I've always found too that something important is something that's usually quite important. It's not just, oh, that's a nice thing to have. It's like, oh, that was necessary 30 minutes ago.
Oh, you mean like the hammer?
Absolutely. Now, I like chat's ideas for the Vitreous strats to get that cape on and go to town with the fighter sword. He doesn't have his half magic, so he's going to need to burn his green potion, but solid strat.
With 45 arrows, I like the bow and arrow play. Because, do they even take damage from fighter sword? Don't you have to spin attack just to do damage?
Oh, you might need to.
And Kamadora's getting his bombos. This is the one thing about the bow and arrow strat is that is a lot of arrows. That's 38 arrows.
So many arrows.
Hey, those boots were required. Kamadora's got the big key on the torch.
Let's see what else he gets here in Desert. See if he gets anything more progressive wise.
Well, we know he's going to get at least one item on the right side.
Absolutely.
Not
big,
the item.
yeah, big 10 upgrade, not what you want. My apologies there, sir, for interrupting.
Oh, it's fine. Is Kamadora just gambling on the back half of desert?
I think so. He got. I mean.
Oh wait, never mind.
Oh yeah, no, he went to desert first. He hasn't done Misery Mire yet. I love seeing the key dash strats.
May not have the silver arrows for this, but fire rod's still really effective. Just 2 shots and they're gone. With the half magic making short work of land mollusk, but validation rupee. That better be one really special rupee.
Yeah, maybe it's the first rupee that Land Mollusk ever earned, so it's kind of like a consolation prize.
First one he ever earned. Doesn't that mean that's where all his luck comes from?
Truth.
So Kamadora looks like he might be going for the Turtle Rock play now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He might be going for that fairy.
Does have the 5/6. There's still 2 items away from go mode.
Kamadora may be just opening Turtle Rock. You could be going back to it, but did not make the full play.
Well, he's still got Super Bunny Cave check. Still a couple more locations real quick.
And paying off greatly with the flippers being in Super Bunny Cave.
Flippers are nice to find. They're required. But I think you'd rather find the hook shot first. Flippers first means you still might have to look into Ice Palace.
Do you want to play a fetch quest?
An hour and 10 into the run, and we get our first fetch quest.
Leads to that fire shield.
That'll be nice if they end up having to go back to Thieves Town and kill Blind.
That it will. Makes that blind fight quite easy.
And Kamadora remembered that there is no hook shot yet, so they gotta do the torch lighting the long way.
It's interesting to see that Kamadora did not decide to go to Misery Mire, even though he was right there.
Probably not comfortable with Fighter Sword Vitreous.
Ah, very true.
Maniacal with the book, we know that Ether is just some more money. That Dead Rock did not want to play nice, though.
No, it did not. Deadrock, one of the few enemies that you have to have magic powder to be able to kill.
Does Quake work on them?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever tried to use Quake on him.
If it would end up on the bridge, I think we would have found out.
You're right. Quake confirmed turns them into the jellies, just like the magic powder does.
Now I got to see the old man sprite, the turning into a Stalkid, I think they're called.
Isn't that? I think that's the coolest bunny sprite for him.
It's pretty neat how it works out like that.
Big shout out to the designers of the sprites, the devs, the people who submit the ideas, people who create them, because boy, there are some really good ones. Which one is your favorite to use, Dark Shadow?
Well, before the update, I've been using the Pug, but after V27, Cactar. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
See, before V27, I was all about Roy Koopa. I loved that sprite, but since V27, I've been using Will from the Illusion of Gaia.
Game I haven't actually played. Kamadora went to the Mimic Cave, finally getting that sword upgrade.
That was a good play for the Mimic Cave. And while we have some time here before we get too deep into Turtle Rock, we want to remind everyone that if you do enjoy what you see, go ahead and give both runners a follow for all the hard work they do. It's always a pleasure to watch these guys run, and I enjoy the race so far, and I'm sure you all are too.
It's definitely been really nice to watch. And to commentate.
Yeah, it's been both of these races between these guys have been great. Kamadora with the arrow strats on that bridge. It did that twice in a row. It's impressive. I'm not used to seeing that. Something I'm definitely going to implement into my runs.
Kamadora taking the death on the laser bridge, but got to the safety door, so not a big time loss.
Maniacal taking a death here as well.
That one is a bit of a bigger time loss. So if you exclude the silver arrows, I'm seeing a throwback to the last race. Where's that hook shot?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to see that hook shot. It's pretty crucial to this race, particularly considering that Swamp is now a crystal.
And it could now be on the pedestal.
That would be so bad because Maniacal will have to go back and it's quick, but you have to go back and clear Pod, or I'm sorry, Eastern. And that's just that extra minute and a half that Kamadora would need to get back in the lead or get closer to the lead.
Now, depending on key placement in Ice Palace, though, hookshot might be required for Ice Palace, so it also might not be on Ped.
That's true. I like Kamadora's strategy here for Trinex, using the fire rod, take out the ice head first, prevent the floor from getting iced.
It's definitely nice if you're under a tempered sword, because usually Master Sword is about where you have issues not being able to kill the ice head in time.
Chat's calling for the hookshot to be at Zora, which means they could have had
Rip that
hookshot this
dream.
whole time.
Trinex had the hookshot.
That is totally ripped. Wow.
Well, there is one more comedy option. Zora could have the silver arrows.
Zora could have silver arrows. I believe that means we have officially entered Go mode for Kamadora.
Kammadora's still looking though. It's got to be a very uncomfortable go mode right now. There's one thing that can be done that no one wants to do. It's a Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
That would not be fun whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I kind of like what Kamadora is doing here with his play on Swamp Palace and then going to Mire, because he can completely go mode Mire once he finds the big key.
Yeah, I think this swamp is going to tell how comfortable he is with Master Ganon. If he is comfortable with it, he'll just straight go mode swamp. If not, we may see a left side play or a southern play or a sword upgrade.
Yeah, considering the fact that Swamp has 6 items, I see a sword upgrade in their future. Well, there goes that lead for Maniacal that chat was talking about. Oh, never mind. He was on the laser cave.
That key in the last chest. Now, Kamadora did skip that first chest, so they might just be going straight go mode.
I would not blame him.
The dice had almost making a slick spot on ground, but Maniacal got it just in time.
Yeah, that was quite close.
The health was also quite close.
Alright, Kaminora's got one more chest to check, and let's see if Argus has an item.
Yeah, those 2 chests there, not too far out of the way, and it's 2 of them, so worth checking. And now Maniacal's got his hook shot. Let's see how he treats his go mode.
I believe we saw a red mail upgrade for Kamadora, so he's in good shape here for some of his upcoming fights with the Master Sword.
Yeah, I was over in Super Bunny Cave. Which Maniacal did not go over there, I believe.
No, Dark Link still has those baby blue eyes, so he is still in his blue mail.
nice Argus fight from Kamadora. Reward, not so nice right now. Yeah, 1,400 rupees, what's another 50, right?
Exactly. Alright, so Commodore has got to head to Skullwoods and Misery Mire to get his last 2 pendants. And Maniacal needing to complete Swamp Palace.
Problem with Mire, though, even when you're doing it in go mode, you still gotta find that big key, and it could be anywhere.
Do we know what the flavor text says for silvers on the pedestal?
I actually don't know.
That would be an interesting place for silver arrows.
At this point, for all we know, silvers could be the last item in Thieves Town, and we could have 2 sword upgrades in Ice Palace.
Maniacal may be looking for a sword upgrade here in Swamp. Swamp. But he is going for it.
He didn't check left side, so he's not completely committed to it. The rest of the chest not too far out of the way, especially with boots. Now, a Master Sword Silverless Ganon, without half magic, that's going to be a little bit tougher for Maniacal to get through.
Oh, absolutely. Those spin slashes are no easy task.
Yeah, he'll probably be camping that torch just to make sure he gets that torch glitch.
Now, Maniacal making quick word of Argus's little Argus is there.
Oh, busting out the fire rod. I've seen some one cycles with that fire rod just getting a double hit and a spin on them.
That's a very, very good way to take him out once you get the hang of it. I've seen some good ones myself.
Kamadora taking the luxury that Maniacal did not have for Vitreous and using the dash strat through the eyeballs.
And getting them all just as the magic runs out. That was awesome.
Half magic still paying dividends. So Maniacal stocking up on potions, going up into Ganon's tower. So, we've got a little game we like to play. Where do you think the big key is? There are 22 possible locations. Make a guess between 1 and 22, or say the location if you have a specific spot where you think it's going to be. So, where do you think it's going to be at, Mellow Yellow?
I'm going with my guess last time. I believe I guessed the 12th chest.
I like a back left chest in the Ice Armos. Because it's never in Tile Room, right?
Oh, it's never in Tile Room.
Now, getting through the Mimic Rooms, Maniacal is going to have to be very careful, because he's only got 6 arrows.
As chat points out, there are 5 arrows in the second Mimic Room, so that allows him to be able to pick up some more arrows right there after that.
Yeah, I've had to take advantage of that one before.
Luckily, if I'm in a situation where I'm low on arrows, I just happen to be playing the seed where the stun prize is 5 arrows. Come to think of it, we haven't seen a stun prize in either one of these races these two have been in.
Well, I've seen the boomerang doesn't get brought out too much, so your stun's usually a hook shot. And, well, when have they had the hook shot in these last 2 races?
At the very end. That's 2 chests in.
We're seeing a right side gamble. Kamadora is having to take down Mothula with that sword.
That right side gamble is now ripped from that Wallmaster.
Would have been funny if the big key was on the torch, though.
Oh man. That's 7 in, and we still have no big key.
No, but Maniacal's getting a lot of his money back from those potions.
That he is.
Kamadora makes that right side gamble and the key's on the right side, that's going to negate most of this lead.
Yes, it will. It'll negate it quite a bit.
Here comes the rando room check. So named because, well, it's only checked in Randomizer because it only has anything important in Randomizer.
Indeed.
And that right shield will help with those mimics later on.
It'll be a very nice addition to the arsenal to help prevent those fireballs.
Here comes Bob's chest.
Those item strats.
Remember those? Remember how we said he had an arrow problem?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, he has a worse arrow problem. He needs 18 arrows.
Kamadora not even playing around with a right side gamble getting controlled by Wallmasters. He's just going left.
Yeah, but this ice Armos, he's going to, like, Kamadora should be making up a lot of time. Because Maniacal will be running out of arrows.
The sword strats are so bad.
I did not know Fire Rod did damage to them.
Neither did I. Bacon sword.
You know what? Worth it.
You know, that makes me wonder if the Fire Rod does damage. Chat's calling out for B strats. Do the Bs do damage to him?
You know what? Why not?
What the hey?
I didn't think Maniacal checked the 4 chests on the right side.
He did not. He didn't get to him because of the Wallmaster.
We're seeing a tile room gamble.
Oh, there it is!
But I said that it's never there. I guess it is there.
He needs to go and get some arrows.
There is a 5 arrow drop in the second mimic room, but it doesn't help with the first one. he has no shovel to dig for him.
Is that a reset he's trying to do to get more arrows? Going for Tower of Hera arrows, huh?
Think there is a pot with arrows. He only needs to go in with 4 to get to the second room.
There it is. Got it from a drop.
And that tile room big key is not going to be kind to Kamadora. Now, what could really help is if in these 4 chests we see silver arrows.
Oh, that would make a world of difference. All right,
No.
so go ahead.
There's no silver arrows over there on the right side, so those are either upstairs or in probably Ice Palace.
At this point, do you check the last 2 chests that you're going to find up top with the helm swords in them?
Spend about 10 seconds for possibly a couple minutes time save.
Yeah, I think so. All right, Kamadora is now on his way up Ganon's tower.
As Michael's finishing the gauntlet on the Land Mode 2 fight. Michael got knocked around a little bit through the gauntlet. The red mail really helping though.
I helped him out quite a bit with even with this fight, dealing with getting hit by the landmos and taking a little bit of damage from the fireballs, but helped him out quite a bit.
Nice one cycle on the 4 Wizrobe room.
That was textbook.
Now see Kamadora's ascend through the gauntlet.
Michael needs to get this magic refill here.
Even with skipping one of the dungeons, they're still on 18 and 17 hearts.
This seed had so much more love than that last seed did.
Oh, there's the bug net. It's a successful seed now.
It's time for swag net strats.
Maniacal, check the 2 chests in the Helmasaur room, but skipping the chest before Moldorm.
It's an interesting choice of skipping.
And a validation shovel.
Oh, good. Now we can dig for things.
Dig for the silver arrows.
Oh, thank goodness that's not a thing.
Oh, silver arrows could be at the dig spot.
That's true, they could. That's 3 hits.
Double and a single. Another double.
Looking good so far. Alright, Maniacal is on his way to Silverless Ganon. Thankfully, not with the Master Sword.
That would have been fun to watch, though.
Ah, would have been a great showcase of the runner's skill. But that's a long fight.
And probably a lot of salt, too.
We were mentioning earlier about how we both played this game in our younger years, and I never had to fight Ganon without the Tempered Sword.
Same here.
So I didn't know until I started doing this that the Master Sword only did damage with Spin Slash.
Speaking of spin slashes, Maniacal's got himself wedged in there nicely. He's getting all the spin slashes.
That's a good place to be.
We got Trolldorn down for Kamadora. He's about to go through the bumper hallway and face his Aghanim.
Ganon gracing us with 4 extra teleports this seed, it looks like.
That was not where you wanted to see Ganon pop up. Or that's not where you wanted him to throw a fire bat.
I totally think that the arrows are at the dig spot.
Well, arrows in Light World, that's entirely possible.
What else did we miss in the light world?
Zora.
Oh my gosh.
Michael's having some difficulty getting the timing down. And without Torch Glitch, it's going to be rough.
Oh.
I believe he's got a fairy. I'm pretty sure he has a green potion. All he has is that green potion, though.
Yep. Yeah, this is it. I'm again waiting here with bated breath as I watch this.
I forgot how many hits he has on him, how many he has left. And with no more potions, with 4 empty bottles, what he has to do this.
It's gotta be. Every slash has to count.
And Kamadora is also on final phase of Ganon. But and they both missed the torch glitch.
Wow.
Kamadora in a bit of a better spot with the half magic, but Ganon is down for Maniacal now.
Maniacal got it. Wow. That was GG Maniacal.
GG. That it took everything, but he got him down.
And Maniacal finishes with a SRL official time of 1:51:56. GG Maniacal.
And with Maniacal taking 2 wins, that means that he will be advancing in the to the next stage. And unfortunately, Kamadora has been eliminated from the secondary tournament.
Kamadora, though, has nothing to be ashamed of. Played great race, 2 races in a row. It came right down to literally Ganon's tower and Ganon's fight.
They both ended up in the same phase of Ganon at the same time.
Do we know if either of the two have a mic and we need to get them in here for some interview?
One sec. We'll see if we can get him in here.
So Zora just selling some life lessons. That's gotta be that dig spot for the silver arrows.
There's dig spot or pedestal. I think pedestal's still light world, right?
I haven't seen one say pedestal, so that's very well could be light world. It's pedestal.
Maniacal having to take a bit of a break after going through that series. And we should be getting an interview shortly. about to get that pedestal check.
What?
What?
Well, then where the heck were the arrows?
Bombos.
Bombo's tablet. Yep.
They didn't check Bombo's tablet.
Man.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, Maniacal, congratulations, man.
Yeah, GG, Maniacal.
Because I can't hear you. Let's see.
We
Let's try
can
that
hear
again.
you.
Yeah, I'm not getting any audio. Let me try something real quick. Sorry.
No worries.
I know sometimes when you're streaming, Discord can have some weird effects, so probably get back in a bit. While he's working on that, remember, if you enjoyed this series of races, and I know I did, be sure to give these runners a follow if you enjoyed what you saw, and see what they're doing outside of races, or spy on them during the weekly.
You know, if I'm not participating in the weekly, that's one of my favorite things to do is watch some of my people I've commentated on and see how they've changed or what they do differently after the races. All right, Maniacal is back. Can you hear us, Maniacal?
All right, yeah. Something got screwed up in the Discord settings. It was trying to send the output audio through my microphone, which was a lot less effective than my headphones. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
We sure can.
Okay, wonderful.
GG, Maniacal. GG.
Thank you. That was a bit of a mess, but GG to Kamadora, and thank you for the races. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it for an interview. I didn't see anything. I think maybe he had somewhere to be. But that was a fun couple seeds. They felt very similar, actually.
We felt the same way. The whole theme on the second one is, where's the hook shot?
Absolutely, and that's what I ran into in the first one, too.
I had the pleasure of being here for both races, and let me tell you, 2 races in a row coming down the way they did was fantastic to watch.
Oh, wonderful. I'm gonna definitely have to watch the VODs back and see how they went down. I think that Kama found the hook shot in Seed 1 significantly before I did.
Yeah, I don't remember when he had it, but he was able to get that hook shot. I mean, you went through and cleared Swamp, I believe.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he full cleared Swamp, which suggested to me that before he had to make the call between Ice Palace and Swamp in that first race, that he had already been up to Catfish prior to that point.
Yeah, that's what made him, I believe, choose Swamp over Ice Palace, where you went right to Ice Palace and got your tablet.
Yeah, exactly. I was pretty happy to find the Bombos, and with really only hook shot to go, I decided to leave at that point rather than go through for the pendant and the last item. But Oh my, I was really sweating it out there at the end of that second one after getting wall mastered and then knowing that my arrow situation was going to be really bad. I was not very happy with the situation I put myself at the end of that second race, but you know, it worked out. That missing that torch glitch was also really something. I hadn't practiced Silverless Ganon to get two hits per cycle in if I miss the torch glitch and don't have access to Fire Rod for the whole fight. So you guys got to watch me struggle with that one a little bit.
Yeah, that Silverless Ganon at the end there, it looked a little rough.
Yeah, once I got the first 6 hits in, I think it was 6 on phase 4. Then I was able to switch over to Fire Rod, but I just didn't have enough magic because I'd put myself in a bad situation. So I shouldn't have let myself get into that spot. I should have continued after Tile Room to go get the full magic refill. And then or actually I should have mirrored and fluted to I should have fluted to 2 earlier and just refilled everything and made sure I had all blue potions. I had plenty of cash. That was more the problem.
We were constantly wondering if you were going to end up making your way back to where the ice rod was, because that's where the half magic was at, and I don't think it played any huge detriment to your game, as you were able to, like you said, work your way through Ganon's fight there. But that would have been a huge difference in the fight had you had the half magic.
Where was the ice rod again?
It was half magic was in the ice rod cave.
Oh, half magic was in the ice rod cave. Yeah, I didn't have a good time to get over there, which is not surprising if you skip early ice rod cave. Then finding a time to get there when you're not, going up to Zora or going to Ice Palace is pretty difficult.
Very much out of the way at that point.
Yeah, and neither of those really felt right. And then once Trinex had the hook shot, I was willing to look at kind of low-hanging fruit locations for the sword upgrade, which is what a lot of the swamp checks and the hookshot cave check were about. But I didn't want to go and continue, diving overworld locations that were out of the way.
Well, all in all, your strategy played out very well in both races to be able to edge out the lead there at the I mean, in this race you had a clear lead throughout most of it, but last race, like kind of last minute lead break, it was wonderful to watch and to commentate on.
Oh, and thank you for the commentary. I guess Mellow Yellow was on both races, I think.
And yes, sir, that's correct.
I guess Dark Shadows, you came in for the second one. So, and I'm trying to remember who was on the first one as well. And I apologize, I checked, and I'm drawing a blank right now. But thank you so much for the commentary and tracking and restream, and I really appreciate that. All the community effort that's going into letting us showcase these races.
It was a pleasure to commentate them, as I mentioned, and you guys were so neck and neck there at the end. It was an amazing thing to see come through.
Okay, I wasn't sure where Kamadora was, because once I finished the second one, the forfeit came immediately, so I just wasn't sure. I imagine he had to be very close, though.
Dark Shadow, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was 2 spin slashes into Ganon's final phase.
Oh, wow.
That sounds about right. You were both in the same phase again, and when you knocked him over.
Yeah, so I guess shout outs to the Jelly upstairs in Tower of Hera for giving me arrows, because that might have made the difference there.
That clutch arrow drop.
I needed arrows, and I didn't really want to fly to a shop, and I didn't have the shovel yet, so there was really no good place for me to get them unless I wanted to, go all the way through Ganon's tower. But
those arrows were really clutch, because if you didn't have to do ice armos, I think you were still good on arrows.
Yeah, I absolutely was. I think I had 16 into the Ice Armos fight after collecting the 5 in Bob's room, and I thought the split on the pots there was 2 and 2 between bombs and arrows, and then it turned out to be 3 and 1. I misremembered, and so I ended up grabbing all of the skulls and just getting a bunch of bombs. But yeah, I need to shore up what's in pots at various points in the run. I made a few different mistakes over the course of both runs with respect to that.
You also mentioned possibly buying arrows. I thought there was only one shop that sold arrows, though.
I think the one by Link's house does, if I'm remembering right. It doesn't come up often for me. I haven't had to do it yet. I've had to dig with the shovel to find arrows, but of course that was not an option here, shovel being in the validation chest there after Moldorm 2.
Almost like the seed knew at that point.
I was like, these guys aren't going to have silvers. One of them's going to do something silly and going to need arrows. I looked at my arrow count, and I just said, oh gosh, I really should have saved 4 during Ice Armos. And I didn't think about it at the time. And then I thought about it when I got down to 3. I said, oh shucks. And thought, okay, well maybe there's going to be arrows in the chests behind Ice Armos, because Ganon's tower often has garbage like that. But then I bricked on that, and I was just like, okay, what are my options for arrows? And I kind of froze there for a minute about it. But the jelly bailed me out.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes a lucky drop to keep you from having to go just completely out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple arrow pots upstairs in the upper part of Hera. I'm not actually sure. There may not be, but that's what I was thinking. I said, okay, there's a bunch of things I can kill. I knew that the jellies from earlier, at least I was pretty sure I remembered getting an arrow drop at one point. And so I knew that their drop table had arrow in it. And I do a really bad job during my run of tracking drop tables. Honestly, it's another thing that I need to learn more of. But I felt like there was a reasonable chance at farming them up or getting them in Hera. And so that's what I end up having to go with. If there's an obvious thing that I missed that you guys were banging your heads against a wall saying, why doesn't he go do this thing? Please let me know. But I can't think of it right now.
There wasn't anything that stood out, with the exception of the ice rod cave, and that was only because we knew what it had and you didn't.
Yeah, had I known, I would have gone right over for sure. That would have made a few different parts of the game notably easier. Just, having those extra shots, even for Mothula at 40 minutes or whenever that was, that would have been, useful.
Absolutely.
Would have made a few different fights much simpler. Trinex among them.
Absolutely. Well, all right, everyone. That was a fantastic race between Maniacal and Kamadora. GG to both the runners. And as mentioned earlier, if you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to give both runners a follow and check them out. And we really appreciate everyone hanging around for this doubleheader.
Yeah, thank you so much for sticking it out. Thank you to the chat for being there and supplying additional hype. I'm excited to go back and see plenty of not like this going on as I tried to punt things away there in the second race especially. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch these back. So thank you very much for the commentary and, as I said, the restreaming and tracking and everything. Really appreciate it. It's absolutely a community effort that goes on to making this happen, and it highlights the runners disproportionately. But everyone's fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
Twitch Prime is included.
Thank
with
you,
your
Maniacal,
Amazon...
and thank you, Dark Shadows, for hanging out with me and commentating on this race.
Thank you, Mellow Yellow. It's been fun sitting here commentating with you. Be sure to, we mentioned following the runners. Don't forget to also take a look at our restreamer Epibliticus and our tracker Raspberry Floof, working behind the scenes to bring you a race and keep everything on track for you.
Have a great night, everyone.
Night, everybody.